Hey guys, this is Sam back again with another video, and in this video I'm going to be showcasing 5 manga that I'm currently reading. So if you are currently in need of something to read, then this video may be for you. First off, we have what's actually going to be my favorite manga of all time. This is Owari no Seraph, Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign, and our synopsis is: having lost his parents, 8-year-old Yuichiro Amane is taken in by the Hakuya orphanage, where he struggles to bond with his new family. However, this soon becomes the least of his worries when a major pandemic suddenly strikes, killing all above the age of 13. Taking advantage of the chaos, vampires who previously lay dormant underground rise up and enslave their surviving humans, using them as livestock to harvest blood. 4 years later, Yuichiro and his family have adjusted to life under vampire control. Although Yuichiro still aspires to kill all vampires and end their reign of terror, this often puts him at odds with fellow orphan Michaela Hayukiya, who emphasizes using wit and ingenuity to survive. Having garnered favor among high-ranking vampires, Michaela gains inside knowledge and uses this to plan a daring escape. But during the attempt, the group of orphans is intercepted by vampire officer Farid Bathory, who proceeds to massacre them. Yuichiro is the only member of the group to escape to the surface, where he is discovered by the Moon Demon Company, a military unit dedicated to hunting down vampires. Given an invitation to join, Yuichiro swiftly accepts, finally being presented an opportunity to achieve his ambitions and avenge his family. This manga currently right now has about 27 volumes, so about 120 chapters, I believe. These are all going to be month-to-month mangas. This one has 2 seasons, which cover the first 2 arcs, and this is actually I can't recommend this enough. Just from the story to the development. Right now, I'll say we're finally getting to. And keep in mind, this is after 120 chapters. We're just nearing the climax, so I can't recommend this enough. Next, we have Gachiakuta, and our synopsis is: living in the slums of a wealthy town, Rudo and his foster father, Legto, try to coexist with the rest of the town's residents. But Rudo despises the wastefulness of the upper class. Ignoring the warnings from those around him, Rudo regularly rummages through the town's garbage in search of anything useful or valuable to save from the abyss, a massive hole where anything considered trash is dumped, including people. Rudo's biological father was once such a person, having been thrown into the abyss after he was accused of murder. One day, after running into a mysterious figure on the way home, Rudo returns to find Legto's dying body on the floor. He is immediately found at the scene by the authorities and is charged with murder. No one believes his claims of innocence, and he is thrown into the abyss. Instead of dying, however, he finds himself in a strange, foul-smelling place surrounded by monsters made out of trash. When Rudo is attacked by said monsters, he's saved by a man named Engine, who reveals himself to be a janitor, someone who uses special weapons called jinkies to combat these creatures. In order to get his revenge on the one who killed Legto, Rudo reluctantly becomes a janitor to fight his way back up and out of the abyss. Now, with this manga, I'm not gonna lie to you, what caught me was the synopsis or the plot behind it, because I have never heard of anything just so unique, like a world made out of trash under our own very world that we live upon. To make matters even more interesting, there's supernatural elements behind it. We got people using auras and augmented weapons and whatnot. It's really cool. This manga currently has, I believe, 5 volumes and 35 chapters. Forgive me if I'm wrong. This one is also a highly recommend. Third, we have Chojin X. This is going to be Sweet Ishita's latest work. If you're familiar with his name, and I'm sure a lot of people are, he made Tokyo Ghoul. He also has a couple of games out, such as Jack and Jian, and our synopsis is: second-year high schooler Tokyo Kurahara likes to slack off in class. However, despite his attitude at school, he works alongside his childhood friend Azuma Higashi to combat the brewing injustice in their town. In contrast to Tokyo, Azuma is physically capable and rarely struggles against the common thugs the pair regularly encounter. Yet there are fights that even Azuma will not pick. Chojins, supernatural beings with powers and beyond mere mortals, are entities that Tokyo and Azuma avoid at all costs. One day, when a previously defeated thug returns to exact revenge, the two are forced into a scuffle. Unable to flee from their foe, the duo injects themselves with a drug that can turn someone into a Chojin. While the dose seemingly has no physical effect on Azuma, Tokyo grows a beak. In fear of being seen, Tokyo must now figure out how to hide his new identity as a Chojin. But it seems that there are people out there that are angry at Tokyo and Azuma's use of the Chojin drug, and they do not seem to want to stay quiet about it. Only thing I can say about this piece of work is, if you're familiar with his name, with Sweet Ishta at all, if you liked Tokyo Ghoul, you're gonna like this. Like, you are gonna like this. Alright, now we have a manga that had recently gotten an anime, which is Tomodachi Game, and our synopsis is Yuichi Katagiri has battled financial hardships his whole life, but has learned to stay content and positive thanks to his close circle of friends. To keep a promise he made to them, Yuichi saves up enough money to join them on the school trip, but when the gathered money mysteriously goes missing, suspicion falls onto two of Yuichi's friends, Shiho Sawaragi and Makoto Shibe, who were in charge of collecting the payments. Although innocent, Shiho and Makoto take responsibility for the failure to protect the money, and no one else comes forward. A few days later, Yuichi and his friends receive mysterious letters which trick each of them into meeting up. Upon arrival, they are ambushed and knocked unconscious. They wake up in a mysterious room in the presence of Manabu-kun, a character from a controversial children's show that stopped airing due to its malicious content. He informs the group that one of them indirectly gathered them together in order to settle a large debt. They are to play a friendship game, a series of games that will test the strength of their bond and trust in each other. As the group's faith wavers due to a growing number of secrets and betrayals, Yuichi must figure out who of his friends he can actually trust and ultimately discover the identity of the traitor. What really caught me here when I was reading the plot for the first time was just the mystery behind it, because I am also a mystery fan. Like, not everything has to be like supernatural, like superpowers and all that fucking shit. Thinking who set them all up, which we do eventually find out later on in the manga. This manga currently has volume 21 coming out on the 8th of April, and we're about 100 chapters in. Like, just seeing the plot advance forward, everyone really just showing their true colors once money is involved. It's just really interesting. It's stimulating, actually, just seeing how everyone just turns on each other. But I can't recommend it enough. For our last entry, we have one where I remember picking this manga up for the first time and instantly falling in love with it. Like, currently, this manga is crawling its way up to becoming one of my favorite mangas of all time. And our synopsis is, hunters brave the ruins of a long-dead civilization at the behest of the corporate city-states who thrive on its detritus. Amidst the decay lie powerful artifacts of ancient technology, eclipsing anything the corporations can develop. For a few successful hunters, the search for these relics is a road to untold riches. For most, it's a shortcut to slaughter at the hands of mutant bioweapons and robotic sentinels. And for those trapped at the bottom of society, it's the only way out. Akira is uneducated, unnerved, and unprotected, just another homeless kid in the sprawling slums between the walls of Kugamayama City and the deadly wastelands which surround it. Relic hunting offers his only hope of clawing his way to a better life outside the slums. But first, desperate foray into the ruins threatens to end his brief life until he meets a mysterious incorporeal woman named Alpha. Now, Rebuild World, about 6 volumes, about 45 chapters. This also has a light novel if you are interested. I'm looking into it myself because I heard from the Rebuild World Reddit that the story is a little different and Akira is actually more of a badass, but I like the Akira in the manga that we have right now. I don't know what else to say about this. It's really good. Definitely recommend it. But these are going to be the 5 manga that I'm currently reading, which I do also recommend. Hopefully you picked at least one of these to check out and enjoy. But other than that, I'll see you guys later.